I
That's
don't
hard
want to
to take.
hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how world-class Paul Pogba is. Welcome back to the show. Back here with the Manchester United versus Southampton preview, or actually match reaction, I should say. The Saints came marching on as motivated and determined as ever, and they came away with the point at Old Trafford against a Manchester United side that didn't look quite up for it. Magnificent effort by the Saints, and fair play to them, because I'll put my hand up and say they deserve that point. But actually, up until that second half, I don't think they did anything to deserve it. I think the first goal that they got was an individual error from Manchester United, but I feel like I've been saying this for a very long time. So without any further ado, let's get into the show. Let's talk about it. Let's get these other two gentlemen's opinions on what happened. If you are down for that, please do leave a like and consider subscribing. First of all, what did you guys think of the game in general, bar the result?
Poor. Very, very poor. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
Remember when I told you that Martial's too cool sometimes? That's exactly what I
Yeah,
meant. That
I did the
1v1.
same thing when
People
that
think I'm joking.
opportunity happened.
Yeah, people think
Yeah.
I'm joking when I say Martial's too cool. Like, I don't hate pundits for calling him lazy, because sometimes he does come across as lazy. You're 1-on-1 against a goalkeeper and you're trying to flick it over. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great when it comes off, but
Yeah.
just put some effort in and clip it around.
You
You know,
could've
this is why
taken
people
it
say
in.
Martial's not a proper number 9. I don't care how many hat tricks he scores. This is why. But, you know,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's a hard one to take, and I said the exact same thing when he missed that opportunity. Like he could have
It's
taken
not,
it earlier, and
it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, though.
it's not. But
Like, people
just
need to
that,
relax, because we're level on points with Leicester. The only reason we're not above them is because of goal difference. We've still got to play Leicester, and Southampton was the last. I said it before the game. I wasn't on the preview, but I said that Leicester. I said, in my opinion, Southampton will be the hardest game of the next four. And you're extremely naive if you expect Manchester United, after 17 games unbeaten, to go and win the next four. You're extremely
you know
naive.
that's all true. But then it's just the manner of the draw, and obviously we're
Obviously.
emotional, so we will
But
react like this. It's very hard to take, and
I said
in terms
this.
of
I said this, though. Didn't I say this? Didn't I send Shoni? Didn't I send you a message saying the only reason we'll lose today is because someone's going to make a mistake? Southampton ain't good enough to beat us fairly. How many chances did they have that they couldn't take? And how many chances did they score because they were genuinely good, as opposed to us making a mistake? That goal that they got off the corner, that was not brilliance. That was not hard work. That was not determination. That's bloody bottlers who don't know how to header a ball out on a corner, who were too under pressure. Let me
but
tell
I
you something about the Pogba goal. There's nothing to do with brilliance there. That's just high press. It's
Mm.
common sense that when you're playing in the back, you don't try to do Cruyff turns and play
and
extremely
it's not
casually, and then you don't chase when
it's
you
not
lose
the
the
first
ball.
time. Not the first time he does this. I've never liked his defending because of things like this. He loses the ball a lot. Maybe not since we've come back from lockdown, but he tries to hold on to the ball too long sometimes, and it works out most of the time. But there's times where it doesn't. And I remember Crystal Palace at the beginning of the season. He did the same thing, and I think Zaha scored, and we lost 2-1. So it's just
Yeah,
frustrating when
because
things
it's
like that
fine
happen.
margins. We did not lose to Southampton. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this nonsense about Southampton being a good team. Oh, do good teams finish 12th now in the Premier League? Is that what we're saying? We're
Yeah,
lubing
I
up
don't think
teams
they
that
went.
finish 12th.
I don't think it was
I
enough
didn't
to
say they
beat
were
us.
bad.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to beat us, but they played well and they've been on form. I think they pressed very high, and that meant that they had a lot of the ball at the beginning, and we were just a bit rattled.
That didn't
So that
matter. The Martial missed 2 sitters.
I know. I'm just trying to give the play-by-play of the game. Yes, obviously, it was our own doing because I feel like
Yeah.
we know how to play without the ball, and you could see it was a bit of a game plan. We knew Southampton pressed very high, played all on you, and they play like a big team, which is impressive to watch. But it was clear all was like just give them the ball and just do what we do best. And we know how to use the ball and make most of the ball without holding it for too long. But because of mistakes, we didn't win today. And I don't want to criticize Ola too much; it's not his fault. But I understand taking off Bruno because it was probably his worst game, in my opinion. I feel like taking off Pogba, I don't think was a good idea because I felt like as soon as
Fuck
Pogba
Pogba. I
came
don't
off,
want to hear it. He deserved to go for that mistake.
as soon as
Fuck Paul
Pogba came
Pogba.
off, Pogba, it was a mistake, but then going forward, he was one of our best players. As soon as he came on,
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He didn't score it. He didn't
Nah,
score two
nah.
goals. He didn't score an offside goal.
Nah,
He
nah.
didn't.
He
He didn't get an
wasn't
assist.
both
He didn't get
goals,
an
not-
assist. He
he
didn't
wasn't
get an
involved in
assist.
both goals, though.
He
And I
didn't get
think
an
he was
assist.
very productive. Honestly,
He
I
didn't
think he was
get an
very
assist.
productive.
No, I agree with
He didn't get an
I'm not
assist. He
agreeing
didn't
with
get an
that.
I
assist.
agree with Malone.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I feel like everything in the midfield started with Pogba going forward. And
Yeah,
yes, he
because
made
that's his
mistakes,
bloody job. He's a deep midfielder. No shit. The
but
ball's gonna
he
come through
played
you.
well. We have to recognize that he played well, and I'm not
No,
gonna shy
fuck Paul
away from that
Pogba.
because he
I
made a
ain't gonna
mistake.
hear it. I ain't hearing it. Fuck
Ah,
Paul
fine, dude.
Pogba. We could
Nah,
be in
dude,
top
nah.
four, but it's Paul
Sure, but
Pogba's fault. Mr. World
sure.
Cup winner. Where's your World Cup medal now? Where's your
Nah.
World Cup medal now?
Yes, it is his
Where
fault. I'm
is
not
your
denying
World Cup medal now? Where are your best stats in the Premier League now?
I'm not
No,
denying
I ain't hearing it. I ain't
For me,
hearing it. You're
especially the
wasting your
first
time.
goal. Without him, we don't score that goal.
It's his job. He's supposed to link up the play. Any DM is going to be the one who gets the pass to the assist. It's
Yes,
his
it is
job.
his job. So we have to review that. We have to review if he played well because it is his job, as you say.
No, he didn't play well because he cost us the bloody game. He did
Yeah,
not play well because he
defensively-
cost us the bloody game. Oh, when
Defensively-
Rashford misses a sitter, Rashford's had a bad game. But when Pogba makes a
I'm
mistake, let's
denying
ignore
that.
that. Let's see all the
I'm not
passes he
denying
completed and all the
I said-
diagonal balls.
I said specifically, I don't like what he did defensively, but going forward, specifically going forward, he played well, and I'm recognizing that because it was a crucial part of the game. You can't just disregard it because he did something.
I
that was-
can, because
that
it's
was
my
bad.
opinion. I can.
Okay, fair.
It's my
Fair.
opinion. I think Pogba was crap tonight. I think Pogba was crap tonight, and I give him a -1 out of 10 before we've even got to the player ratings. That's how crap I think Paul Pogba was
Fine,
tonight.
fine.
And
But
he can
besides
sit
that,
down.
The game plan was working for most part of it, and you could see what it was trying to do. And corners, like I even said, I was sitting with my friend, and I even said, like, I hate corners, especially when they're so tight to the keeper. You just never know what could happen. And they scored 2-2. It's unfortunate. It's very sad because we were in the top three and now we're not. But as you say, we're we're on level with points
We're level with Leicester.
with Leicester.
And we're like 2 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah, so, and they have harder games than we do. So I'm still confident we'll make top four, but geez, my life, it's hard.
No, I'm still very confident we'll make top four. I'm still very confident we'll make top four because we still didn't lose that game. We got the point we needed to be level with Leicester. And we play Leicester on the last day of the season. And I don't see us losing to West Ham. I don't see us losing to Crystal Palace. I think that we have choked the game that was going to be our hardest game in the last four. Bar the Spurs. Well, actually, so the hardest games in these 9 games for me were Sheffield United, Tottenham, and the Southampton game based on league position. And it makes sense that we drew to Southampton because I'm not sure where West Ham are on the table, but they're in better form than the likes of West Ham and Crystal Palace.
I think
so.
In terms of
it makes sense.
In terms of form, I think they're right behind us.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense. But I'm not hearing how good Southampton are. I'm not hearing it. Where was Danny Ings today? Oh, Danny Ings, he's going to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford because he's on form. Get out. Get out.
Yeah,
if Pogba doesn't make a mistake there, we win this game. And if Martial just takes his chances, we don't just win this game 2-1, we win this game 4-1. If Rashford's goal wasn't offside, I tell you what, we win it 5-1. So I'm not hearing how good Southampton are. I ain't saying Southampton are crap. I never called Southampton crap. I never said Southampton were a crap side. And if I did say that, it was just for the banter. Southampton are not crap, but they're not good either. Because good in my books is not 12th place. I'm really not hearing that argument.
Yeah, but they are good in terms of form. We're talking about form at the moment. They are good. They beat Man City. They've been terrorizing everybody else.
Oh, dude, I watched Manchester City lose at the Etihad to a team that lost to Burnley at Old Trafford. That's not how football works. You don't beat Man City and become the king of the hill when Man City have taken their bloody foot off the pedal because they beat Liverpool 4-0. Like, it doesn't work like that. We beat Man City.
Man City are a good team. Off form or on form. To beat them is not easy.
Okay. We beat Man City 3 times in a period when we were crap. Does that mean we were a good team back then? No, it doesn't. So I ain't hearing it. I ain't hearing this Southampton argument. Beating Man City doesn't mean anything. You can disagree all you want because you love lubing up mid-table Premier League teams. They're 12th and we should be beating them.
Didn't score a lot of goals, and maybe Ings didn't do the amazing things.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Was Everton good for getting a point against Southampton? Is Everton suddenly a good team now? Because they got a point against Southampton. Southampton couldn't beat Everton. Are they suddenly good? Were we good in December when we beat City? Because City are a good team. Were we good in December
So
when we beat Spurs because Spurs are a good
Everton
team?
have not been flying, but they're a very good setup and a very good manager, and it's
So are they a
kudos to
good
them.
team?
They got the point. But in terms of the
No,
form
are they a
Southampton
good
have
team?
had,
Yes or no? Are they a
no,
good team? Yes or no?
because there's a lot of context to it.
Oh,
There's a lot of
okay.
context.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. No, like it's fine. There's context. Oh, was United a good team when they beat City 3 times last year? Yes or no? Simple
The
yes or no
setup,
answer.
tactics, the way we played was very good. Yes, but again, context. Southampton have been good ever since we come back from lockdown.
I'm not.
And
Yeah, I'm not talking about Southampton.
are
So
one of
you're
the
saying
form teams
Manchester
right now.
United? Listen to
If
my question.
Southampton don't do the
Listen to
things
my
they
question.
did today, okay?
You're not listening to my question. When Manchester United beat Manchester City last year at the Etihad and then went on to lose to Burnley at home, was Manchester United good? Yes or no?
There's perspective. You can't answer that without
There
looking.
is perspective, but what do you think? What is yours perspective? Was Manchester United good, or were they just good on that evening? Which one is
They
it?
were good on that evening.
You must have an. Okay,
They were
cool. Okay, cool. So now we're getting somewhere. I don't care that Southampton won 3 games out of 5. I don't care. They're not 17 games unbeaten. So please don't compare them to us because we're not in 12th. I don't care what you think of Southampton. We should have won that game tonight because we're 17 games unbeaten, and I will not call a team that's 12th good. I do not care about it. So you are wasting your time.
I can't argue. Fine, I can't argue.
You can't argue because I don't think Southampton are good. I don't think any teams in the bottom 10 part of the Premier League at the moment are quote unquote good. They might be decent footballing sides on their day, but that doesn't mean crap because you can go 17 games unbeaten and still lose in this bloody league.
It's something called form, and it's a very integral part of football. And
Okay. Let's compare form. Southampton, since they've come back in the Premier League, they lost a game and they drew a game to Everton. They won 3. Manchester United, since the Premier League has come back, have not lost a single game. We beat Sheffield 3-0. We beat Brighton 3-0. We beat Bournemouth 5-2. There's a massive difference between those two teams. You talk about context, you talk about form.
I don't
There's
think so.
a massive difference. They did not win their games 3-0. They did not win. If you think Southampton's on the same level as us because they have the same amount of wins.
Doesn't matter if their form is identical to us. They're a form team. They can play in a certain way, and that certain way can work against us. It might have not worked against Everton, but it can work against us. So,
I never disputed that. I never disputed that because they got the point. So what's your point?
That they're a good team in terms of form. That's my point.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck off then, because I don't care about your point. I've been saying for the last, I don't know how many minutes this podcast has been going on, I don't care what your opinion of their form is. They've won 3 games, they lost 1, they drew 1. Now all of a sudden they're a good team. Wow. That's amazing to me. But anyways, player ratings, De Gea out of 10.
6. Yeah, man, this guy he didn't really have anything to do, but he did make a world-class save, and I don't blame him for any of the goals, so 6.
Yeah, I think that save was amazing. I think that was a goal. It was definitely a goal. So I'm going to give him a 7.
There'll still be people on Sky Sports going, oh, he should have never passed it to Paul Pogba there. He should be looking to clear it, and then there'll still be bloody pundits talking about the fact that Luke Shaw was out of position when Southampton scored their first goal, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, we move on. Aaron Wan-Bissaka out of 10.
5. Didn't like him going forward. Didn't like him going defensively. Everything that was suspect came from that side. So one of his poor games today.
I think offensively wasn't bad. Start of the game, first half I think it was good. Second half he did drop off a little. Defensively I think it was one of his worst games. He did get a yellow card for a bad tackle. So I'm going to give him a 6.
GG. Lindelof out of 10. The only decent defender on the field today, besides Luke Shaw.
Give Lindelof a 6. I think, he was our best defender. Well, one of our best defenders today. But yeah, again, with that corner thing, it wasn't necessarily his fault, but, the whole team was just disappointing. Yeah, 6.
I don't know.
He played well, but he gets a 6.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to blame him for the corner. I was going to give him a 9. And I don't want to blame him for the corner. Actually, I'm going to give him a 9. I think today was the best performance I've seen from Lindelof. He was amazing. And it's so unfortunate.
He was levels, but
I think
some people just have an agenda against this guy.
Going forward, usually it's Maguire doing it. He did it today, but that wasn't the best part of it. Defensively, everything was on point. He was winning headers. Usually doesn't do that. He was reading the situation, finding the danger so well. Crucial tackles. Like, I think it was amazing today. 9.
GG. Maguire, the £80 million international defender, out of 10.
5. I didn't even notice he was playing today. I'll be honest with you. And I think his positioning was a bit off today. So yeah, and the playing out of the back with so many touches and this type of against a team like Southampton, it wasn't going well. So yeah, 5.
I'm starting to think he was a bad investment, to be honest.
It was weird. Because I don't think he played bad, and I might even give him a good rating. But I'll give him a 6.5. But I think the big problem was we started sinking, and I would have liked if we tried to hold the ball more and try to control the game a bit more. But we sank so much that we were inviting pressure towards the end of the game, and we've done that well in the past. But like, you can't rely on that. You have to be the dominant force so you can win the game, and we paid the price for that. But I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah. Luke Shaw out of 10.
My man of the match, 10 out of 10. I think
he could have had an assist as well because he passed that ball to Rashford.
He ran that game. Today, Luke Shaw was the shining light, and I really hope he's not injured. And also because Brandon Williams looks like he's going to be out as well. So I really hope Luke Shaw isn't injured and nothing serious. But Luke Shaw, amazing. Going forward, amazing. Defensively, locked down. The link-up, amazing. Passing, amazing. He was one of our only guys who were actually creating things. He should have had more than one assist. So yeah, man of the match, 10 out of 10 for me. Game completely got annihilated when he got off.
I agree 100%. I'm going to give him an 8. Everything Shani said is right.
He was unbelievable. You should have been an assist. If Rashford wasn't offside, there was an assist. If Rashford wasn't offside, we win this game. Because you know why? Southampton didn't score or create 3 clear-cut chances that they should have taken, like us. But we move on. Matic, out of 10.
I thought Matic was probably our best midfielder today. I think, defensively, he was very solid. I think, his experience showed a lot today. I think he helped a lot defensively, composing everything. And I think if it wasn't for Matic today, we could have been in a lot more trouble. So I'm going to give Matic a 7.
Hang on, you're giving him a higher rating than Lindelof. That's, yeah. Okay.
I know. I don't agree with that either. But he did have a really good game. I think his pressing was very good. His dropping back was really good. And the ball movement, he did what Max has been doing ever since we've come back from lockdown. So, yeah, 7.
Pogba, out of 10.
He was definitely a fault for the first goal, definitely. But, I agree with Malota. I think, without Paul Pogba, those 2 goals wouldn't really happen. He played the pass to the assist. Paul Pogba's passing got us out of so many dangerous situations with someone who presses like Southampton. And, as soon as Paul Pogba went off the field, I had no faith. All my faith got lost because the drop off was ridiculous, and this shows why we also need and that shows also why we need depth again. Big problems at United, and this was a big game for us. But I'm gonna give Pogba a 6 average.
I think you have to make a decision, and Ole chose what decision to make. He's gonna try hold what we have, which I can respect. It's fine, but you could also say we're gonna try hold the ball and score more goals, and that's how we're gonna make sure we win this game. So it's a very difficult. You can't really completely blame Ole. To the Pogba, I think going forward he was really good. I think he was one of our best midfielders. But there's context. We drew the game. It was his fault, so I'm going to give him a 5.
And at the end of the day, people act like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have kept Pogba on. Well, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if Pogba stayed on and he got injured, all of you would have egg on your face who thinks Pogba should have stayed on. Because the reality is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't changed his starting 11 in nearly 4 or 5 games. He had to rest Pogba at some point. And I would say the same about Bruno and any other player. Like, we know the subs are coming with this team. Like, I don't know why we play ourselves and think Pogba's going to stay on and be the hero every single week. Like, that's just not going to happen, Yeah. But anyways, I digress. Bruno, out of 10.
Bruno was invisible today, but he did get an assist. And, Bruno's bad game is still not really that insanely bad because when he does have to show up, he did. His passes weren't there today. It just looked like, it's not the Bruno we used to. And for his high standards, it wasn't what he wanted. So I'm going to give Bruno a 6.
I think it was one of his worst showings, but he assisted, right? So yeah. I mean, he still contributed to the game, and like his attitude's so clear for everyone to see. Like he works hard. His attitude, it's brilliant, and he tries. He tries when we're doing bad. You can see the intent. So kudos for that. But it wasn't a great game. So I'll agree with the 6.
Yeah, man, interesting. Rashford out of 10.
Rashford was good today. Rashford was good. Couple of decision making obviously wasn't at his best, but he was very lively going forward. He was very dangerous. He did cause a threat, and I think his goal gave Martial even more determination to go find another goal because of the friendly competition they have. So I thought Rashford was very good today. I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yeah, I agree. I think he played really well. I think best game since we've come back. So I'm gonna give him an 8.
Martial out of 10.
I'm going to give Martial an 8. I thought Martial, yes, he definitely should have scored that 1-1. There was no excuses. Any striker should score that. But today, he did get his goal. His work rate was unbelievable for me, personally. I thought Martial never gave up. He was looking so lively. He even set up Rashford for a little chance there at the end. But yeah, and just going forward, giving us the outball. I thought Martial was that today. He was United's outball whenever we could try find him. So I'm going to give Martial also a 7.
Yeah. I'm going to give Rashford a higher rating because I think Martial was amazing. And I think an important part of the first or second goal. But
he got an assist in the first goal and he scored the second one.
Yeah, that's amazing. But he scores that goal, we win the game. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, it's comical. It's like the French link is the reason we lost the game today. I mean, Drew. It feels like a loss, but Drew. Anyways, Greenwood, Mason Gunwood, Mason. I don't have a bad game. Greenwood, Mason. What were all the nicknames people were giving him about how good he is and how we don't need Sancho? Yeah, that guy, that teenager who hasn't proven himself at the highest level. Out of 10.
I think he got a 5. I think there was nothing for him today. Not one chance was created. He was defending a lot on that right side because that right side was so weak. It was so abysmal on that right side.
Partially Wan-Bissaka's fault, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I don't blame Mason at all. I think, and I don't think Mason, I think Ollie should just tell Mason, these things happen. Get your head up again. Like, I don't think it'll affect Mason that badly. I think we will see Mason Greenwood performing at his best again, because all he needs is one chance. And today he didn't even get that. So yeah, 5.
Yeah, I think a bad game was always coming, so we can't blame him too much for that. But it was really bad. And yeah, support Marcus's Sancho claim. Sancho was probably more experienced, and he will still be able to get on the ball and do something even in the bad game. Mason really was invisible today. He just disappeared. So yeah, 5.
Yeah, it was like when Wayne Rooney was a teenager. People think Wayne Rooney is this legend of the Premier League, which he is, but his first season when he was a youngster, he wasn't like that every single game. He had to learn and play and get a consistent run of games, which is something Manchester United fans seem very stubborn and in accepting. They think Mason Greenwood's the next best thing since sliced cheese instead of just calming down and actually waiting and seeing, first of all, what position this player plays in. And second of all, how good he can actually be on a consistent basis. It's great that he's performing now, but honestly, I wouldn't get my hopes up, especially after days like today. I say let's wait and see what this guy can do and buy Sancho. We need Sancho. We need Sancho. Especially, we need Sancho. I'm not even going to go on a rant. I'm just going to end it off there. We need Jadon Sancho desperately.
And Grealish. I think we need Grealish as well.
And we need a centre-back as well, because I'm done. I hopped on that. I was thinking about hopping on the Koulibaly train last week, but now I've hopped on. We need more defenders. And I don't know who gets benched, because the way I saw it today, Maguire was the worst defender, and he cost almost double the amount of money of Lindelof. So if we cash out on Maguire, we've saved ourselves 40 mil, and we just go buy a decent defender next to Lindelof. Problem solved.
Yeah, and I think with Maguire,
honestly, I think
we'll have to see, but I think Ollie possibly does prefer Maguire, and I think that armband around his wrist, around his arm is protecting.
It's obvious.
I feel like
it's obvious. Maguire is going to get chosen. It's obvious. He's English. He's got the
He has bad-
armband. He's not going to
He
get
has bad
stripped.
games here and there, but I think he's quite consistent and he has more attributes. I think he's as consistent as Lindelof, in my opinion, and he has more attributes. So I'd keep Maguire.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't care, mate. As long as we get a centre back, which we probably won't. But the thing is with Lindelof and Maguire is I've always liked Lindelof. I never liked Maguire. When we bought Maguire, I laughed at people who said he was one of the top 5 centre backs in the Premier League because I'd never seen him, so I could never verify that for myself. And his first season at United, for me, there's nothing that suggests this guy's amazing. You know, it's just like Ricky said, he wins headers. Oh wow! I wonder what's so special about that. It's not like centre backs generally win the most headers in a team. He plays the ball out from the back a lot. Oh wow! It's not like in a possession-based football team, the first person the keeper passes to isn't the centre back. You know.
Yeah, but a lot of centre backs aren't good at it.
A lot of centre backs aren't good at it. Oh wow! So that justifies an £80 million price tag, an armband when he's only been here for less than a year, and us lubing him up like he's this world-class defender. Like,
I don't think
get out,
he's one of
get
the
out.
I don't think he's one of the best in the world, but I think he's one of the best in the league, in my opinion. And he has a lot of good attributes. But I wouldn't put him in the same category as a Van Dijk. No way.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't take Maguire fans seriously after the last few games. And if I'm being harsh, it's because I'm a Manchester United fan. I am harsh. I want my team to do well. And when my team is losing because of individual errors, somebody has to take the blame, you know. So for me, it's not good enough making mistakes. You know, Vidic didn't make mistakes, or at least didn't make so many mistakes that every bloody 3 weeks was sat here saying the same thing. Oh, we would have won today if it wasn't for an error from a defender or DM, you know. I'm sick and tired of it with this team. It's always someone's always having a bad game. You can go in on Manchester United and say, we didn't turn up today. No shit, Sherlock. When you play 17 games and you're unbeaten in 17, you're not going to turn up for all of them. You know, well, it's 18 now. You're not going to turn up for all of them. But you should still win because good teams find a way to win even when they're playing badly. And I'm not mad at the whole team today. I'm mad at the situation. I'm mad at the situation because it's a recurring theme in Manchester United over the last 7 years. Every time we have a 2-1 lead, a 1-0 lead, any lead, it's someone always seems to make some sort of mistake.
I'm not making an excuse for United. You're right. And
it is hard. It is hard.
If you're going to be the best in the Premier League, you have to overcome that. But like Pano to say time and time again, especially in this league, a 1-goal lead, especially like corner, anything can happen in the corner. And I know we didn't play well overall, but like I feel like our defensive display towards the end for that type of style.
There's no excuses. Yeah, I agree. There's no excuses. You can say whatever you want about Southampton, but I'll say the same thing about Southampton that I said against Bournemouth. Southampton scored 2 goals. 2 goals. One of them was because of a French World Cup winner who just made a mistake. Whatever. It's in the past now. The other goal that Southampton scored was because Lindelof and Maguire were busy staring at the ball and not really doing anything. And it's like, fair play to Southampton. You can say they deserved to get back into the game because they created so many chances. But in football, just because you create chances doesn't mean you're going to win. You don't get what you deserve in football. You get what you take and and how clinical you are. And I just feel like Southampton weren't clinical enough today. I really do. I feel like the only reason they got away with the point there was because of Paul Pogba and because of Maguire and Lindelof. And Maguire and Lindelof get off the hook because it's a corner. Anything can happen in a corner. But in open play, come on.
I feel like
come on.
It goes further than that.
And it's not just Pogba's fault. Yeah, it does go further than that. Why aren't people telling Pogba that there's someone behind him? Communication, people. You can clearly see this guy's calling for the ball. De Gea should have been like, hey, Paul, there's someone behind you. You know, as he threw the ball. Or Maguire should have been like, hey, Paul, behind you. Or Lindelof, anyone on the pitch, even Bruno.
Yeah,
tell him there's someone behind him.
He did have a look, and I just don't think Pogba seen him. I think it might have been
He didn't see him. The guy was in his blind spot. Pogba looked left, he looked right, but the guy wasn't left or right. He was right behind him. And then he snuck around the corner as Pogba turned. And then, yes, Pogba should be doing better to control that ball and should see the guy, but you can't see everything on a football pitch. And that's why you have teammates. they call these things out. Hey, man behind you. Man behind you. Or Wan-Bissaka could have been like, yeah, behind you. You know, something, dude, something. But again, it feels like Manchester United, they slip for a minute, and then that minute turns into a whole game, and that whole game turns into a whole season of us just bottling results because we're not serious in situations where we should be serious. And I'm not even going to go in on De Gea there because he had every right to pass it to Pogba. Pogba called for it.
True. But I remember the pundits were having this debate, and they were saying, as much as the team plays up in the back, the players, when a team is pressing as high as Southampton, should take onus and just go long because it's too risky when a team is playing in such a high.
I understand that. But there's two different types of situations in a high press. In a high press, there's a situation when you just can't, like when Wan-Bissaka gave away the ball 3 or 4 times today. What happened with Wan-Bissaka was as a result of the high press. What happened with Paul Pogba was not a result of the high press.
There was a lot of space.
There was a lot of players, but the thing is with Paul Pogba, okay. When Martial got that one-on-one, United weren't playing a high press. Martial was pressing alone. He single-handedly nearly got a goal by himself. That's what happened to Pogba. And I'm not saying Southampton weren't pressing up high. I'm saying Paul Pogba specifically losing the ball. There was no tiki-taka play before that. It was a pass from De Gea, and Pogba received it and did not look behind him. Cool, it happens. And nobody said, hey, idiot, there's someone behind you. It's different to the Wan-Bissaka ones. The Wan-Bissaka ones was because Maguire passes to Lindelof. Lindelof passes back to Maguire. Maguire plays long ball to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka can't move quickly enough because he takes too many touches and there's 3 players on him. There wasn't 3 players on Paul Pogba. There was nothing happening there. It was literally De Gea picking up the ball. The attack is over now. Now Southampton is still pushing up the pitch, but there's one guy behind Paul Pogba. And I don't care what your philosophy is on tactics, on principle. That comes down to communication and awareness on the football field, man. Like, what Martial did there was not skill. It wasn't brainy. Like, it wasn't genius. He just saw an opportunity to run and press, and the defender made a mistake. Just like Pogba, except Martial didn't have 3 people to pass to because United weren't playing a high press. And it's the same. It's almost the same thing that happened, except Southampton went, like the Southampton defender who gave the ball to Martial didn't get it from his keeper. He got it from a fellow defender. Pogba got a pass straight from his keeper. Like, you're a professional footballer. When the keeper passes you the ball, you should know if there's someone behind you. And if not, someone on the field should tell you that there's someone behind you. And it's like, that's got nothing to do with high press or the Gurgen press or tiki-taka or hard work. That's just laziness and pure the lack of awareness. And it's cost us a chance to get into the Champions League. That's why it's so frustrating. And we're still level with Leicester, but it's a recurring theme because we could be sat here next year losing the second leg to Bayern Munich because Paul Pogba didn't check behind him that there was someone, or it could be Matic. And I know I've gone in on Pogba. I don't hate Paul Pogba. I hate the situation, but like I'm mad at Paul Pogba because he's the one who bottled it. I don't care what he did offensively because it means nothing. We might as well have not had any offensive work and not conceded, and it could have ended 0-0. Same result, same cuck difference, no. We drew, and that's the reality of the situation. If Martial scores an own goal and then he scores one at the other end and the game ends 1-1, did he have a good game? Yeah, in context, he had a good game, but it doesn't mean shit because we drew, and it's his fault on both ends, you know? So that's how I feel with Pogba, and it's just, it's unfortunate. But, yeah, I don't know. Should we even give Oli a rating? Because, like, what did he do wrong? What is he
I don't
supposed
think
to do
Oli
when his
did
players
nothing
bottle?
wrong today. He picked the team, he got really unfortunate even towards the end when Brandon Williams' injury. I really hope that he's okay because he's such a young player. We don't want anything seriously to happen. And I also hope Luke Shaw is okay. So again, Oli has nothing to blame. But what I will say is that 11 players on the field today bottled it. And like I told Malota at the preview, if United won today's game, for me, then we would have turned the corner. But now, I'm not sure. It just proved what I had in my mind, lurking in the back of my mind, that we were going to bottle this game.
It's as simple as, like, okay, well, to respond to the Oli question at least, I think some people could say that he shouldn't have taken Pogba as soon as he did. Some people will say he should have brought Dan James on at halftime because Greenwood was clearly having a bad game. So,
And it makes sense for Dan James to come on in that game. You know, if you just had to hit the long ball, like if Pogba was there, and like in hindsight, if Pogba was still in the field and we had Dan James, Pogba picks out that pass all the time to just drive it forward, and Dan James will just be gone with it. Gone. That would be the great
funny. The situation with Paul Pogba was funny because I've seen this with De Gea so many times. People say De Gea is not good enough and Dean Henderson should come in for him because De Gea bottles it and then makes a world-class save later. But when Pogba bottles it and then makes a world-class pass later, people don't maintain the same energy. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being unfair. Maybe I've developed a Pogba agenda. But that's just the way I see it, in it? Because obviously being a goalkeeper is very different to being a DM. But I feel like there was nothing Paul Pogba did today that was out of this world. I think what he did was what we know Paul Pogba can do. And even Matic on some days can play a diagonal ball across the field to get an assist. It's not rocket science. It's not that hard. Or a pass to assist, whatever Pogba got today. Like, Pogba didn't do something that was like, ooh, you know what? If he didn't do that, and if we had some other DM from the league, it would have 100% never worked out. Whereas Martial's goal, that was pure individual brilliance because, it's Tony Martial. But I don't know. But
anyways, I'm not going to go back on the Pogba one. But Ole, I think, look, you do it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Ole clearly saw the dangers. You saw that the game wasn't really going completely our way, and he went defensive, and it didn't work out today. So you can't blame him too much for that. So I'll still give him a good rating. I'll still give him a 7.
And he's still 18 games unbeaten in the Premier League. So whatever that means. We're level with Leicester, so it's not a train wreck. And we didn't lose. Thank God we didn't lose. And
it's just goal difference. We score way more than Leicester do. So we could find ourselves in the top 4 by just smashing Crystal Palace. So we're still in a good position.
And look, with regards to people saying Manchester United haven't turned a corner, like, I'm not hearing it because Manchester United in December wouldn't have come back as quickly as they did. Like, you guys are literally, you're watching some other game. Like, if Martial scores that goal, we win. We win. If Martial scores that goal, we win. If Rashford is onside, we win. Now, I ain't saying Manchester United have turned a corner and we've improved drastically, but lighten up. We're 18 games unbeaten. Cut the team some slack. We haven't lost in 18 games. Cut the team some slack. We lost today because, we drew. I keep saying we lost because it feels like a loss. But we drew today because of an error. Not because Southampton, fair play, they worked hard, but every team in the Premier League works hard. Every team in the Premier League grinds. That's standard for the Premier League. That's why some people think it's the best league in the world. For me, that doesn't necessarily...
The way they were pressing. For me,
it's good.
That's the
Southampton played a high press
from a small team in the Premier League.
It's good. Their high press was phenomenal. I'll give them that. Their high press was phenomenal. But they didn't do anything in the game that warranted them getting a win because the only reason they're in the game is because of we bottled it. That's what I'm trying to stress. And that's what people don't understand. Southampton didn't play us out the park. They didn't play Man City out the park. They nicked a goal, and Man City just weren't good enough going the other way. They're not this amazing team that, wins, that has a fairy tale story of making top 4. They're just a typical Premier League side.
That playing style is very much predicated around it.
And it is, but they're 12th. It is. Southampton are a great club, but you know what? I guess I've been watching the wrong league because I guess Arsenal are much better than them for being in 9th, right?
If we're going to talk about the league in general, but if we look at the form table, they're right up there.
Yeah, but sometimes form tables are difficult to read because they can be misleading when you look at the wins, losses, draws. They can be really misleading. If you look at the actual score lines and you watch the actual games, you'd have a lot more context as to what was going on. Southampton didn't beat anyone 3-0. Southampton didn't break the record for winning the most consecutive games 3-0 in a row. And I'm not saying they're not the closest to us. Don't twist my words. If Southampton are the closest to us, that's just a reflection of how crap the league has been this year and how low the standards have been. Because Chelsea lost to bloody West Ham and they're 4th. Or 3rd, whatever they are.
And not any other team, but most other teams, we win this game because we smash them. We score a lot of goals in between, in the middle of the game. But I feel like because of the way they play, they made it very difficult for us to do that.
And by the way, we are 3rd.
This is not your time. This is not your time.
No. Correction. If Martial scores the sitter, we win this game. We bypass
No,
Southampton
I get you. But the thing is, when a team is playing like this, we have less chances to score. And the thing, as we've seen with United, when we didn't have this midfield, when you have less chances, yes, the chances are there, but then it's not always guaranteed you're going to take them. The more chances you have, you can miss a few. But you still score.
That's very obvious. But the reason we lost today wasn't because of Southampton's high press. It was because Paul Pogba made a mistake. It was because Lindelof and Maguire made a mistake, and Martial didn't score the sitter. That is why we lost today.
I get you.
We didn't lose because of a high press.
But the way they played a very big part in it being difficult for us.
It did. Obviously it did. The way you play is always going to play a part. It did. But it doesn't necessarily mean now all of a sudden that we must just lay down as Manchester United fans. Ooh, it was always going to be a tough game because Danny Ings is the fucking best striker since big fat Ronaldo. And he's the best. He's going to win the next bloody Ballon d'Or. Man for man, no Southampton player gets into that Manchester United team on their day. That starting 11. I'm talking specifically about the starting 11, not the bench. Man for man, quality-wise, we are better than Southampton. We should not be drawing games Southampton. Martial should be scoring that. We did not lose because of high press. The high press played a part in us losing, but we did not lose because of high press. We lost because we're serial bottlers at Manchester United. And we have a mental problem. And things that should be simple and games that we should win, for some reason, we just can't do it. I'll let them off the hook this time because unlike in the past, we didn't lose. We just got unfortunate and we're still 18 games unbeaten. And for any Chelsea fans who have anything to say, mate, you're like 2 points ahead of us and you lost to West Ham. So how about you shut up? Lampard is so crap. He lost to Oli 3 times in a row. So I don't know where you get off having a big mouth. We're still going to make top 4 and we'll probably leapfrog you. Just wait 3 games. Just wait until we beat the team that you couldn't beat. And then wait until we beat Crystal Palace. And then wait until we do Leicester over at home. And then we'll have this conversation, with Chelsea fans and their big mouths. Imagine being so crap that you're actually happy that another team lost. Like, when your rivals...
I'm sorry, you can't call a team crap that's ahead of you. I'm sorry, you can't call a team crap that's ahead of you.
I just did.
You can't.
I just did.
Because,
you're crap. You're crap. I just did. You're crap. I did it again. You're crap. I did it again. You're crap. We beat you 3 times. You're crap. I did it again. And in 3 weeks, we'll be above you on the table. And I'll have this conversation with you again. Well, not 3 weeks, sorry. 3 games. We will be above you. I just called you.
Okay, so you beat Man City, so Man City's crap. Man City's crap because you beat them.
I didn't say Man City's crap. Please don't twist my words.
No. You beat us, crap. So we're crap. Is Man City crap because you beat them? No, we're using the same logic that you're using.
Man City didn't lose to West Ham. Man City didn't lose to West Ham. Man City didn't lose to West Ham. Man City is still in the Champions League.
To the team that you drew against.
Please don't compare yourself to Man City. Man City are in the Champions League. Man City have won 2 Premier Leagues in the last 2 years. Please don't compare yourself to Man City.
And where are you in the Champions League? Where are you in the Champions League?
We are going to be in the Champions League in 3 games' time.
Are you in the Champions
Keep your big energy. Keep your big energy. In 3 games' time, we will be above you. And I will personally ask Mlota to send me your number and I will message the crap out of you when we are above you. You just wait. Mark my words. Call me Mystic Marcus. We are going to leapfrog you on the table. And I will call you crap now. I will call you crap after we beat West Ham. I will call you crap after we beat Crystal Palace. I will call you crap after we clutch up against Leicester. And I will call you crap when we leapfrog you on the table. And I will also call you crap when we beat you in the FA Cup like we did 3 times this season. I don't give a fuck about the table. I don't give a fuck about your comparisons to Man City. I never called Man City crap. Do not twist my words. I called you and your team crap. So please don't bring Man City into this because they're still in the Champions League, unlike you who got knocked out by Bayern, by the way. They're still in the Champions League. They're still in other competitions that they could win. So do not compare yourself to UEFA. Sit down. And any Chelsea fans, please try have a go at me. Please. Because I'm feeling fired up tonight. And any rival fans who have anything to say, that's just a sign of how well we're doing. When your rivals are happy that you're losing and they're hating on you, it's a sign of how well you're doing. So that's all I got to end off the show. It's been a bit toxic tonight, but What else do you expect when you draw 2-2 to Southampton? Peace out. I'll check you in the next one.